Okay, Canada have beaten Cameroon 1-0 the Women's World Cup down in Montpellier. Interesting thing of note, it's the first game where there's been rain. So that didn't actually have as much of an impact on the match as it could have. I think the Canadians did not test the Cameroon goalkeeper enough. And what was striking is looking at the stats. They only had 4 shots on target out of nearly 20. So they were very wasteful in front of goal. And Christine Sinclair's going after Abby Wambach's goal scoring record. And they were too focused on getting her the ball. They were trying too hard to give her the ball rather than playing as a team and creating opportunities for all players. And the ironic thing is that Buchanan's goal comes from a corner in the first half, and it's a centre-back who scores it. So they were overdoing it, trying to get to Christine Sinclair to get this. I think they're trying to get her this scoring title, this scoring record. That should be a secondary concern. They should be getting goals as a primary, and there should be depth scoring. Their wastefulness in front of goal could have proved costly tonight because Cameroon, like all African sides, be it the men's or women's game, are highly athletic, they have pace, and they're physical. And, you know, what we've seen in the past with these physical but pacey and ultimately flair sides from Africa in both the men and women's game is they can score some outlandish goals from nowhere. And that is a risk that the Canadians were playing. They had a lot of the ball, they had lots of corners, they had like double figures in corners compared to Cameroon had, like, I think 3 or 4. So they had a lot of possession, a lot of pressure on the Cameroon backline and the goalkeeper. Couldn't do enough with it. And while they've won the game, they were wasteful. Did the weather have a part to play? Yes, it did rain, but I don't think they did enough to put the defenders of Cameroon under pressure, put the goalkeeper under pressure, because the wet, slippery conditions is when balls can be spilt. Footing can, there can be a slip, there can be loose footing. Didn't do enough of that. They didn't put these low, hard crosses in or challenging crosses where the goalkeeper could spill it. And the lack of shots on target is a big concern. Now, Canada do actually struggle to score more than a goal a game at this level in the World Cup. And while they're ranked 6th in the world, they do struggle to get the ball in the back of the net. Goal scoring is a problem for them. They score goals, just not many of them. And that could prove a problem against some of the better sides. Like New Zealand, for example, a very strong women's side. They're their next opponents. And they have to be more clinical in front of net. They were very wasteful. They have the pace out wide. They have the technical ability. They have the possession. They have the pace and movement of the ball. They were playing at a good pace. It's that final third, that final ball, that final shot, and the decision making. And if Christine Sinclair is to break this goal scoring record, the team itself have to make better decisions in the final third. There has to be more movement up front because at times, easy to defend when you've got 1 player against 4. There's not enough supporting runners. Now, you could say they're building their way into the tournament, but their record away from North America is actually pretty poor. This is their first win since 2007 away from home soil in the World Cup. Now, they've got that little monkey off their back. They have to, however, be more clinical in front of net. If that just means they're getting shots on target and forcing saves, it doesn't matter if they're necessarily weak shots, but they need to get more accurate in front of goal, because eventually in the women's game goalkeepers aren't of a high enough standard across the board. There will be an error in goal. There will be that howler. They didn't put enough pressure on the goalkeeper. The fact that the goal comes from a corner in the first half, and it's a brilliant downward headed technique. The goalkeeper is no man's land. Completely not sure to come or stay. And the defenders are too passive. But apart from that, it wasn't a great finishing performance by Canada. On the other end, they kept a clean sheet. That's something else they struggle to do in World Cups, is keep the ball out of their net. They've done that. So that's 2 things they've got right. They've won a game away from North America in the World Cup, and they kept a clean sheet. They've got to build on that and take some confidence from 60% of their play. 2/3 of the pitch they controlled. The defensively, brilliant. Great tackles, great marking. The midfield, the passing, the movement, the energy, the engine room, top notch. It's the finishing. And that's something they've got to work on. Is it nerves? Is it technique? We'll have to wait and see. The Cameroon, didn't do enough when they had the ball. Plain and simple. They did not do enough. They have the pace to trouble sides. They have the physicality to trouble sides. Much like their male counterparts, did not do enough. And I think Cameroon might struggle to get out of the group, personally. But on this token, no VAR tonight. That's 2 games to this evening with no VAR. That's a positive. But only 1 goal today. So it's the lowest scoring day so far in the World Cup. Let's hope tomorrow's got a bit more goal-mouth action and more goals going in, because that's always fun to report on. I prefer high-scoring end-to-end games than games like this where one side dominates the other. But in this case, unlike Argentina and Japan, the side with all the ball actually gets the win. They took that one advantage, they made sure they got that goal, and they were solid at the back. But not the best game, not the worst. To be fair, for a 1-0, it wasn't actually a bad game. It's just that finishing was so wasteful by Canada. But there we go. It is what it is. I mean, you can't say more than that. And hopefully Christine Sinclair can get possibly some better service and better and some better movement from her as well. She needs to be more mobile, but her teammates need to support her more in the box, because she cannot hold it up by herself. If she's going to get that goal scoring record, she's going to need more support from her other attacking players alongside her. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your thoughts below, and I'll have some more videos for you tomorrow. I will try and cover as many games as possible, but with my work and the World Cup and certain kickoff times, I won't be able to watch every single game in this tournament, which is frustrating, I will admit. However, I'll do my best to cover as many as possible. Plus, we've got some other big sporting stories to cover, like the Stanley Cup final. Will the Blues finally lift the Stanley Cup at their 4th attempt? Or will the Bruins win their 2nd cup in 9 years? That's really of interest. Also, well, actually 8 years. 9 seasons, shall I say. Also, rugby league, the London Broncos, I've got to do a video on them and their history, as must do. And of course, there's some football transfers taking place as well in the men's game. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.